Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a video on DCTV in general and some other topics. So if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future DCTV videos later this year. Okay, so we've got new merchandise now available. You can go to the store by clicking the link in the description below. If you want to support the channel and buy some merch, now is the time because it's limited edition and it will only be available for 2 months. So go ahead and watch this promo if you haven't seen it already. If not, you can skip forward. So here we go. So merch is now available, as said before. That's a showcase of what we've got in store. Obviously there's a lot more colors, there's a lot more different styles of clothing. There's hoodies, t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, jumpers and everything like that. So it's available for everyone out there in all different sizes. So if you want to support the channel and you like what we do, the best way to support is by getting some merchandise. So do it whilst you remember. And so for now, let's go ahead and get into today's main topics. Okay, so we have 3 main topics I want to talk about. First things first, I want to get into HBO. So I discussed this on a live stream last week, but I haven't made a video on it since it was made official. And it was made official that HBO has begun licensing some of its shows to Netflix. The first show to go across is Insecure. And obviously this comes when Warner Brothers is open to pretty much giving their IP out to anyone out there that is willing to pay a price. And so lots of fans are annoyed about this because Warner Brothers traditionally has kept most of their content in-house and they haven't recently been licensing out specific characters, TV shows, but since David Zaslav has taken over, they've been shopping around projects that they don't want to continue over at Max or on its different platforms that obviously they own. And so Amazon has got some Batman shows that they're working on. Also, Netflix is getting their hands on a couple of different projects like Dead Boy Detectives, so this marks a big change in their strategy. And so now with HBO officially licensing some of its shows to Netflix, like Insecure, which is the first HBO series now to be streaming on Netflix, you can actually stream it on Netflix right now. This is a huge shift for Warner Brothers and their strategy. And so I think in some way it's actually good. Obviously Warner Brothers is going to be making money from licensing their products, obviously TV shows, films, everything like that, and maybe even characters at some point if they want to, give the rights to, say, Amazon to do a Batman show, they're going to let them do it. But sometimes they're going to be involved too, in the production side. But if they get to the point where they're not involved in the production side and they're just selling rights to the characters, maybe it's just like partial rights. It's not like you have the full rights to this. We'll never make a project on this certain character anymore. I think that's quite unlikely. But basically, I also think it's beneficial not just in terms of money reasons, but also in terms of like exposure. The more streaming services, the more networks show their specific Warner Brothers related characters, the more attraction they could potentially get in the future. Now this could backfire or it could go really well. It could go really well in terms of they can gain more traction. People will be like, okay, this is a Warner Brothers property. Obviously Warner Brothers makes good stuff, so let's go watch Max or let's go watch Warner Brothers film in a cinema. But also it could backfire in terms of if they oversaturate the market and give out all their products and license certain things to different streaming services, they could benefit off of it, and it would basically dilute the Warner Brothers brand. And so it's like a two-way streak. It could be good, it could be bad, but I quite honestly don't think David Zaslav is thinking like that right now. He's just seeing the checks and he's like, okay, this is going to be good, let's license some of our shows to Netflix, let's license some projects to Amazon and all of these other competitors. And so yeah, what do you guys think about all this? I really want to know your opinions down in the comments below, because I feel like we all have our different opinions about this and it's definitely a hot topic right now. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. We've got 2 final topics. We're going to be talking about San Diego Comic Con first, and then we're going to get into some DCTV content. But first, San Diego Comic-Con. This is not related directly to DCTV, but it's probably of interest to you guys. I don't know how many of you are going to be going to SDCC this year. I have previously gone in 2019, it was really good, but this year there's not much DC stuff happening at Comic-Con, like it's just really comics and that's pretty much it. But there is some exciting stuff like certain TV shows that you guys might like Masters of the Universe. They've got their new season which they're going to be having a panel about, which is going to be coming on the Thursday. And so this panel is going to be led by Kevin Smith, because he is obviously the creator of Masters of the Universe, the new animated show which stars Chris Wood as the main actor. And I'm sure most of you guys know Melissa Benoist is involved in the show. She plays a character that was announced a while ago for the new season. And so this is for Revolution, the new season. Not sure exactly when it's coming out, but Kevin Smith is going to be hosting a roundtable discussion about He-Man and Skeletor's most epic battle yet, with the creators and cast of Revolution featuring Chris Wood, Melissa Benoist, Griffin Newman, and Tiffany Smith. They're going to all be there, and they're going to show some exclusive scenes from the new season. It's not coming out for a while, but that's definitely of interest to you guys. It's got Chris Wood, Melissa Benoist, Kevin Smith. Obviously, that's DCTV related. That's why I bring it up here. This is Master of the Universe, the animated show. It's a great show. You guys know that Mark Hamill is Skeletor in the show. He is really good. Also, he is a DCTV alum, so this is literally just like a cool panel and a cool show for you guys to watch. Also, I see on the schedule there is Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra panel. That's very exciting. It's on the same day. So there's a lot going on at Comic-Con, although it's not necessarily DC related. I'm sure if you guys go there, or if they release the panels online, it's going to be of interest to you. So just wanted to bring that up here. Now let's move on to the final topic. And so this is from the showrunner of Gotham Knights. So it's pretty well known by now that Gotham Knights was being shopped around before the CW officially cancelled it about a month ago. And so yeah, this is an insight into what was happening behind the scenes and the way that things are going to go going forward. Obviously, Gotham Knights did officially get cancelled like most of us were expecting. We thought maybe it would survive because it's the cheaper show out of Superman, Lois and itself, and it actually turned out to be they preferred to keep Superman, Lois, but obviously with some big budget cuts. We talked about that a lot in the recent weeks. But let's go ahead and break down the statement. So he says, "Hey Bat Brats, thank you all for the kind words and heartfelt support. Since many of you have been asking about the possibility of Gotham Knights finding a new home, we wanted to let you know that over the last few months, our producing partners at Berlanti Productions and WB Discovery had been working extremely hard to get the show picked up or possibly even moved to a new network. There is a great deal of love and support for Gotham Knights at the studio and at the CW as well. Unfortunately, despite all their efforts, the CW wasn't able to renew the show and the studio wasn't able to find a new home for it. We can assure you that it wasn't for a lack of trying or a lack of enthusiasm. Even in a time of severe belt tightening, the studio spent money and resources in hope of continuing the show, and though they ultimately weren't successful, their efforts deserve our gratitude." So let's quickly break this down. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, I don't know why Warner Brothers or the CW would spend money on a show that they don't want to produce themselves, or, you know, they don't want to have on their own streaming services. So it's made pretty clear here that Warner Bros didn't want it on Max, so they were like, let's help you shop it around somewhere else. And the CW didn't want it on their network, and obviously it was just mainly to do with costs for the CW. But despite that, they actually helped, and I guess that's just like a courtesy to the show. Obviously they've been pretty ruthless in the last year or so with all the cancellations, and so it's kind of nice to hear that they're helping out. But despite all their efforts, they weren't able to renew it or find Gotham Knights a new home. So yeah, definitely a mixed message here for me. I don't know what you guys think about it. Let me know down in the comments below. And he goes on to say, "We've seen your tweets and we appreciate your resolve and commitment to getting the show a new home. It means so much. This show was the work of hundreds of people displaying relentless passion day in and day out. We would all love nothing more than to keep telling this story. After all, this is a show based on looking for hope when hope seems lost. But as the showrunners, the two of us feel like we owe it to the fans to be realistic about the chances of the show continuing. At this point, it's virtually impossible. There is a million mind-numbing production logistics working against us at this point, and resurrecting the show would be extremely cost prohibitive. Trust us, the executives truly do love the show and hear your dedication to it, but they unfortunately can't make the numbers work. Just speaking from our hearts, we can't in good conscience let a community that we love and care about expend resources without being totally honest about the realities. So I respect the showrunners for coming out and putting out this statement, because yeah, people are working, obviously fans I'm talking about, very hard to try and get the show a new home, you know, doing hashtags and everything like that. That's just a thing that happens when shows end or specifically get cancelled. And so yeah, I feel like this is a good statement to come out with, and it definitely puts our perspective into a more clear light in terms of like, will Gotham Knights get a new home? It's looking like that is nearly impossible, as the showrunner says, virtually impossible. And so then he just goes on to list a couple of things in terms of what's going on right now and how people can help out. Obviously, I'll leave this in the link in the description below if you want to see how you can help out around the world. And so he says, "Thank you again for embracing and supporting Gotham Knights and for being totally and wonderfully weird about it. We wouldn't have it any other way. So much love to you all. You're eternally grateful, if somewhat deranged, Gotham Knights showrunners." So there you have it. That is the official statement from the Gotham Knights showrunners about the future of their show. It looks like Gotham Knights is going to be done with season 1 and it's not going to find a new home. But let me know down in the comments below how you feel about all of what we've talked about in today's video. Obviously, we've got 3 main topics. HBO and Netflix is a big deal, and specifically Gotham Knights not finding a new home, and the statement is a big deal, as well as, are you excited for Comic-Con if you're going? But that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed it. It really helps the channel out. Also, subscribe and turn on notifications if you're new around here. And as mentioned earlier, our new merchandise is now available. Click the top link in the description below if you want to get some merch and support the channel. Thanks again. And for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video. But for now, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.